the beginning build when you're tracking Let's Dance.
After we got the groove going, I remember Nile saying, hey, I got an idea for an intro.
And then that fill. When you're cutting, is Bowie there?
Oh, yeah. David was like, no, you got to set a mic up. I'm singing with them.
Yes.
In Studio C of Power Station, the vocal booth was basically right in front of the drum set. So I'm looking at David while we're cutting these songs. When the lead singer is there, they set the vibe and the energy to the session.
Did Nile show you a demo of Let's Dance?
He showed us a demo, but I sort of remember some of those demos being like acoustic guitar and voice.
Wow. So it's really just the song. It's not the energy.
Once we got in there with it, the bass and drums pattern evolved over like, a half hour, 45 minutes of just jamming. What started off as a 1-bar phrase ended up being an 8-bar phrase for the final record. We had to basically loop and kind of just get in the vibe for it. There were no sequencers back then. We were the sequencers.
Yeah, your drums are really swimming through the guitars and the bass and the vocal, like where you open up the hi-hat, your snare fill into Let's Dance.
Yes.
All that stuff is so musically interwoven with all the other instruments.
And very intentional. I think at that point in my playing, I was aware of how a drum fill that I might play would turn the page for the entire band.
Yes.
I understood this one's an exclamation point and this one's chaos. I'm looking for the drama in the music.
What was Nile like as a producer on the Bowie session?
He just has the taste.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Nile just had the knack, the talent, the perspective. Even when he plays guitar, the rhythm instantly recognizable, and it propels a record right into that space. I guess that's why that guitar is called the Hitmaker.
Yeah.
I think it's called the Fender Stratocaster Hitmaker is what they call it.
Yeah.
The way he swings, it just makes records happen.
And what is he like with Bowie? When you're sitting there watching him handle an artist like that, what are you observing?
Well, I'm observing a guy paying very close attention to where the artist's vision is. It was pretty clear that they both wanted a hit record.
Yeah.
And the first song we cut was Let's Dance.
That's insane.
The first song was Let's Dance. The fact that he started with Let's Dance and they were going after a thing, mission accomplished.
Prioritized it.
Mission accomplished. To set the precedent for the session with that, it's like, all right, we know what the mission is.